Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Greg Harris, man, a player coach of Modern Life Mag and a manager of some of your favorite artists, straight out of Northside, Houston, kicking it with Hot Thoughts TV. For the new year that just started, I would say from what I've seen in 2018 till now, it's just like mentioned off camera, like the vastness of like talent, that's happening in all areas, honestly. With Houston being a main course in Texas scene right now, like we're probably like second or third as far as like master talent, and it's just good to see that, and you see that in other like creative industries and shit like that though too. Well, a lot in fashion, a lot of creatives doing shit as far as like graphic design that's getting major looks, photographers that are getting major looks, you know what I mean? So like seeing shit like that, honestly. Yeah. When I made Modern Life, I was in high school, so I was rapping at the time though too, like with my friends and shit. And my little brother, I was like probably 14, 15, like rapping. So, given the fact that a lot of shit was popping off at that time, like Hype Beast, Two Dope Boys, Not Right, it was like, okay, how do we couldn't get on those blogs and shit like that back then, so it was like, fuck it, I'll just make my own. And it was really just the same shit they'll write about, essentially, and it'll just be mixed in with our shit though too. But I got to a point where I stopped rapping. I was like just basically like pushing out my brother's shit and my friend's shit and have them get placements and shit like that. So basically took it from then, I was probably like 17, and just kind of allowed it to be like an actual like full-time thing I was doing in college and still doing now, Like, that actually came to me by, I didn't ask for it, for real. You know what I mean? Like, it was like a thing that's just like, I was cool with artists and shit like that at a certain time, and it was just like, I remember I was in New York doing, I was like interning and like doing A&R shit for Alamo, and Rizzoo called me just to like figure out what he was doing and shit next, cause I was cool with him prior to, just because I was like writing a lot of his shit on Modern Life, and I was doing some stories on Free Press Houston though too, so but I guess he was at a stage of his career to kind of like figure out what the fuck he was doing next. And he was like, man, like, shit, let's work together, let's get some management and shit together, and basically took it from there, because I was like helping people out already. Like, I was doing a lot of shit with West Blanco, like when he had Greases the Word, and I forgot what other tape he had. It was called Real Quick with like Money Fiend and shit like that. So like, I had experience to a certain degree, but it wasn't to the point where I would like where I am with like BurgerMan and Rizzoo now. All is as far as management goes, it's Rizzoo, BurgerMan, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Parisaden. She's a live producer from Port Arthur. Like, she has credits with Rico Nasty, Baby Mother. She has like a credit with like an old Lil Pump song, and was recently mentioned in Pitchfork's album of the year for a song that she produced with Baby Mother, and I think she was mentioned in the Washington Post too. Yeah, so she's fine as fuck as a rapper and producer, and she's like only 18, Shit, pretty early, you know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't doing that, it was me just playing ball and shit like that. So I really started writing poetry like around like 12, 13. And it was just like a thing of just like self-expression, and a thing that just like, I was like, to a certain extent, even though I have to be like outgoing to a certain degree, but I'm like fairly kind of shy. So I would use it like to talk to different females though too at a certain amount of time. And then like that kind of grew into like me talking about the shit I was writing about on like Modern Life's early shit, you know what I mean? And kind of expanding into that later on throughout my years of writing this shit. Shit, bro. Throw them all on the pot. Shit, I would say seeing niggas like Master P and Cash Money for sure. I think that they like seeing that type of shit at like 4 or 5 and being hella young, and like seeing and like realizing how strong they were independently, you know what I mean? Like that fucked my mind up. You know, like from shit 4 or 5 to like now, nigga. I was juvenile for Halloween twice. You know what I mean? So like, you feel me? So like seeing that, I would say like that blog era, like really like kind of influenced me a lot though too. Like I don't know if you guys remember if when Hype Beats actually had like personal forums for like people like that was like just coolest for like the Cool Kids had a forum, Theophilus London had a forum, and the Madberry Club had a forum too. I would say the Madberry Club is pretty essential to like modern life's ethos as far as like design, like how sleek it is and shit like that. Who the fuck else, bro? Just 90s basketball period, like NBA on NBC, and you know, seeing Allen Iverson and Kobe, and you know what I mean? Like I believe basketball from like 1990 to like 2006, 7, that's like a big influence on like modern culture and modern style and shit. So I don't know, I would say shit like that, and just I wouldn't say urban music, but I would just say like color people that do make music, and that can range from like African Americans, Hispanics, you know what I mean, like rhythm and music. I feel like that's definitely a large influence though too, just off of, you know, learning from your past and being able to build on it in your future though. I feel like that really plays a large part into like all the shit I do, honestly. I just think we just gotta stop having the perception of like we're the little guy to a certain extent, because like we're a big metropolitan city if you look at it from like a land mass and like perception wise, but it's just like we just can't stop treating ourselves like we're little bros in the nation at the end of the day, like especially in industries is like music or like business affairs or entertainment and shit like that. We just can't, you know, act like that. I feel like if we just beat our own rhythm to our own drum, we'll be straight. Cause I feel like other cities is doing that shit and they're prospering in it. You know, we seen what happened in Austin for the past 10 years, you know, with the resurgence of South by Southwest and live acts and like designers and shit coming out of there. You know, we just gotta be able just to continue to apply pressure. Like y'all applying pressure by doing this shit. Y'all beating your own drum. It needs to be more platforms like Hot Thoughts. It needs to be more platforms that are like willing to push the envelope or just do their own thing. Like you see Imperial doing their own thing. Like I remember when, you know, when Drew was in somebody else's shop, you know what I mean? Like pushing out his own shit, and he has his own storefront in one of the most prominent areas in Houston now. You know what I mean? So like, you just gotta be on your own shit, bro. People gonna gravitate to it later on. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like that shit happened to me. I've been doing this, I'm 23 now. Been seriously doing modern life since I was like 16, 17, you know what I mean? So, you know, it take, you feel me? Like it like I'm still not even to the point where like I say I accomplished what I really want to accomplish. Like a lot of shit that I want to see in fruition then, like it's just starting to happen like in the past 6 months to a year now, honestly. You feel I feel like, you know, just roll into third coast culture, honestly. You know what I mean? Like to like the image of like the grills, like candy paint. Like it's like you can't compare, like from an outsider's view, like it looks similar if you could compare Memphis to like Houston, or if you compare New Orleans to like Houston and shit like that. But those are all different cultures within the South. Like I feel like for us to kind of have so much of an influential wave that has lasted beyond, it's been what, damn near 30 years since Screw has been like a thing in the city, you know what I mean? It's like seeing that type of shit kind of last beyond its years of existence and shit like that, it allows more people to be influenced by it. That's why I like, you know, just to see folks like Hulk, Screw, Flip, like Zero, Trey, like all emerge from the South Side and just like be more than just artists, bro. Like those are prominent figures at the end of the day when you think about it, you know what I mean? Like it's ASAP and them like using they like faces on shirts and shit. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers from Harlem talking about like Screw shit. You feel me? You know, like that's the type of shit I like, honestly. You know, I wouldn't even say like okay, 1 or 2 times is like it's definitely like stealing, but it goes back to how influential that we are, bro. Like we don't have I would say except Walk. You know what I mean? Like a leading voice in the city that could call out bullshit, you know what I mean, on certain shit. But at the same time, it's like we're hella influential, bro. We can't like deny that. It has to be somebody that has to be able to check that shit when it's fraudulent or when it's actually like influence. You know what I mean? You know, it needs to be more individuals that need to be like, man, like, this is our culture. You, like, understand you doing it this way, but this is how you're supposed to do it, or, like, pay respect, or, like, understand it. You know what I mean? I think it needs to be more of that shit rather than just saying niggas just, like, stealing shit. Because it's been like that for a minute, honestly, you know, and it sucks, but we can't be so much in the down in the dumps about it, though, too. Just because, like, shit gets stolen, that's positive at the end of the day, because shit, we have all that flavor that comes from this town, bro. You know what I mean? And that goes back to the whole, like, we can't look at ourselves as little dogs compared to other motherfuckers. That doesn't mean, like, don't branch out and tap into with other motherfuckers to that point, but, like, just understand, like, nigga, we can stand our own too. You know what I mean? Nigga, I stayed in New York for, like, 5 years, and, like, just living in another city and seeing how people are fascinated or like gravitate to like Texas culture and certain shit is crazy, bro. It fucked my whole mind up when I went up there and just like seen it and experienced it. You know, it's different. People like it, you know what I mean? And that's why people gravitate and take the shit at the end of the day, you know? So 2019, man, I want to be able to enhance modern life beyond the internet, honestly. You know what I mean? Doing more tangible shit, having more things that's gonna be like able to establish that legendary foundation that I feel like we already gotten to a certain degree with people like liking it already, but like doing it more so from a I guess a brick and mortar type of setting, you know what I mean? And doing it in a way where people can be attached to it. As far as management goes, I want to be able to put out as many projects and allow the people that I work with to really monetize off that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like that's important for artists now. You know, it's being on the inside, not only doing my shit, but like doing shit with a label though too for a certain amount of time and having the insight on that at a label that's emerging though too. You know, you see the goods and bad sides of it, and I want to be able to see like, okay, like shit, you know, you don't have to going this particular route to like get this amount of money or like be able to really monetize off your music. You know what I mean? You know, I really want to be able to like a lot of people I work with to make the most money that they can, you know, buy themselves a booth before we got to partner with somebody, honestly. You know what I mean? And then my third goal is to really execute on the new things that I'm doing, the new businesses that I'm doing. Like I did with Modern Life, but just in that same way. You know what I mean? So I think now the way that magazines per se would be like a thing is just like, it's like an extra. I feel like I want to give so much game about it, but I want to say like you have to, if you're dealing with publication or selling publications, that can't be your main piece of inventory when you sell it. You feel me? I feel like you got to be able to have that as an extra, honestly. To me, you know what I mean? Like, cause it's not people like, it sucks to go to a CVS or like a HEB or a Kroger and see how small the music section is for publications. Like, if you ever noticed that, like, if you go to like a Barnes and Nobles, I was in Barnes and Nobles in Deerbrook the other day, and like, you know, it's an extensive bookstore. But at the end of the day, like, the only urban magazines that are being sold is XXL. You can include Fader in there, but they're like contemporary too. The Source, whenever the fuck they want to print, you know what I mean? Like, and those shits are not just flying off the shelves like they were in 2005 or 1999 or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just different now. And like, I remember like being at Vibe, you know, around the last time that they print their last issue, you know what I mean? Like, this is me coming into music writing, you know what I mean? And like seeing brands like that you look up to and shit like just die the fuck out, honestly, you know? Like, it's still around online and shit, but like, it's just not the same no more, you know? Shit, for a long time, it was Common. I used to love her. I would say...
That's crazy. say that because I remember once we took a trip. I was like, bro, something about this song always.
You feel me? Like it's one of those type of jams, bro. You know what I mean? Or I would say like fucking throw some D's. I remember I was like in the 6th grade and shit. Nigga, I was like, man, when I get my whip, this gonna be the first song I play. No bullshit. Keep applying pressure, bro, and you can't stop. You can't stop at your dream, bro, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, even though you may have some shit that's going on the side, like, make your bread, make your paper, monetize off your own shit, but, like, if you really got a structured plan, really got a structured goal to really, like, go through with all the shit that you really want to be able to do, like, be consistent with it and just keep applying pressure because you never know what the fuck's gonna come out of it, bro, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, I think the only reason why I was able to be in, like, a labor office and even get to the point of, like, interning and like be able to make money off of doing PR, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, nigga, I did that by doing interviews and in-depth articles that people wasn't talking about, you know what I mean? Like, and that was just during the time of my life where I was just like, I graduated, I ain't had no job and shit after, you know what I mean? Like, I was just really just trying to do stories on some of the hottest people just in the game, whether it's like A&Rs or whether it's like artists, or it was just like trying to give it a perspective where people could read it, it's tangible, it's live as fucking people, and not a whole lot of people were doing it in that way. You know what I mean? So like, bring differentiation to whatever you're doing and keep applying pressure, honestly. That's the best way to go about this shit.